Hi, my name is Kelly and I'm the creator behind 40 Young, www.40young.com. And I have a brand new post up on my website that I would love to talk to you about today. It's titled, Is There a Right Time to Have a Baby? I'm 43 years old and I have 3 children. So I have a couple different experiences as far as having children. My oldest daughter is actually 24 years old now, and I got pregnant with her my senior year of high school. So I gave birth to her right before my 19th birthday. And I wouldn't say that was an ideal time to have a baby. I was just going to college, you know, it was an unexpected pregnancy. I have 2 other children that are 13 and 14 years old, and those were more of a planned pregnancies. And the experience was obviously very, very different. I think sometimes life throws you curveballs and you have to adjust. But if you are in a relationship or married and you're really thinking like, is this the right time to have a baby? I've got some really great tips for you guys. So before we get into the tips, just a little note. I'm sure there's plenty of you watching this video right now that have babysat or nannied, or you might be an aunt or an uncle, or you might have younger siblings. And while that gives you a little glimpse into having children, it really doesn't give you the whole picture. Not only is there a lot of responsibility with having children, there's also this huge emotional side to having kids that I don't feel like a lot of people talk about. You know, once you have a baby, and that's, you know, something you created with someone you love, or, you know, even if it's just, you know, a baby that you're going to be taking care of yourself, there's this immediate emotional attachment that, you know, you hurt when they hurt, you're sad when they're sad, you miss them when you're away from them, you worry about them constantly. It seems like, especially in like today's world, you know, you're constantly worrying like, where are they going? What are they doing? Who are they with? And that's a huge responsibility in and of itself, besides the responsibility of caring for another human being. So tip number 1, give yourself some time to be a couple before you decide to add children into your family. You know, when my husband and I, his name is Rob, when we got married, I already had my daughter who was 5, and he's not her biological father, but he is very much her father. And every other weekend she would go to her biological father's house, and we would have some time alone, which was really, really great for our marriage. You know, you wanna make sure you're like have a really solid relationship before you start adding like dirty diapers and screaming babies and sleepless nights and who's driving to daycare and I got up last night, and you know, the list goes on and on and on. Anytime I ever go to like a bridal shower, like somebody's getting married, it's always, sometimes they'll like send those cards around that says like, oh, what would be your best bit of marriage advice? And I always write, take some time for yourselves before having kids. So tip number 2, make sure you both are on the same page. Sometimes women have a tendency more to want to like talk their husband or partner into having a baby. The husband's on the fence. I always think that, I've always said this, that in deciding whether or not this is the right time to have a baby, that both partners need to be like full on board. You don't want to kind of drag someone into being a parent. You want to make sure that both people are like, yes, this is what we want. This is what we want to do. Again, these are all under ideal situations. We all run into curveballs in life. It doesn't always work out that way. But if you're looking for like the right time, like the best time, you know, making sure both partners are on the same page with deciding to have a baby is a really, really solid idea. And so my third and final tip is more about like spacing of like kids, like if you have several kids, or when to know kind of when you're done having kids. Our 2 youngest are only 13 and a half months apart, and so only like a year apart in school, which when they were younger was a lot of work. Like I will readily admit, many days I was like, why did we do this? But the good thing about that is now that they're older, they go to the same school, they have the same activities, a lot of their friends are the same, you know, they're kind of doing the same things. So you don't kind of have like, you know, a kid in kindergarten and then a senior in high school, and you're kind of dealing with all kinds of craziness. So we're kind of dealing with the craziness all at one time. And I kind of knew we were done having kids after my son was born, who is the baby of the family. I just knew. It felt like our family was complete. I will say right around my 40th birthday, maybe this was just kind of like one of those things that like I knew the time for me to have a baby was, you know, that window was getting smaller and smaller. But we kind of tossed around the idea of having another baby and then shelved it, thankfully, because I think, you know, our family is very, very complete. Our little family of 5, although my oldest daughter's moved out now, but you know, we're good where we are. And I think you'll get a feeling about like whether you're done or not. And I think sometimes you might decide like you're done and then maybe change your mind a couple of years later, and that's okay. But you know, you always really want to remember the reason, like what is the reason you want the baby? You never want to have a baby to like fix a relationship or to make you happy, or, you know, all those things that don't really won't really happen. So you want to make sure that, you know, you're doing it for the right reasons. So if you guys want to read the full post, you can go to www.fortyyoung.com and you can read the full post there. You can also sign up for my my monthly newsletter and check out some of my other posts. And if you really like this video, head down below and hit that subscribe button.